Hello, everybody, it's DemonRushGaming, and we are back with the Titans Connected franchise. And as you can see, you knew we were going to the playoffs. We didn't get first or second seed. We got third in the AFC. So we will be playing the wild card game against the 9-6-1 Kansas City Chiefs. It'll be very interesting. This is going to be a bit of a longer progress video because we need to get ready. It's going to be crazy. As you can see, Drew Brees won MVP. Before we get to game prep, because we will, and look at that, overall Stoof went up, so now we have some money to work with. Let me see something real quick. Contracts no longer there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to awards first, check out the weekly awards, of course. Then we're going to move on to yearly awards. Weekly awards. Okay, here we go. Drew Brees, 28 at 37, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 carries for 7 yards. NFC Defensive Player of the Week goes to Kerrigan, 8 tackles, 3 sacks, and a forced fumble. And look at that. Our team racked up this week as we just got done beating the Colts, our division rival. Thank you very much. We got AFC Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week. Offensive, you got our boy Ellington. That is right, 34 carries, 284 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 reception for 1 yard. AFC Defensive, you got our boy Akeem Ayers. And guess what? 14 tackles, 1 sack, 1 reception, and 1 forced fumble. Absolutely crazy week for us. So now let's go to the awards yearly, that is. And let's see how everyone fared out. Drew Brees won the MVP award for the year. Coach of the year went to Masters. Yeah, our boy was in the running Weisenhunt, but he didn't quite get it. So, let's go to different things. Offensive player of the year went to Joe Flacco. Ellington was in the run but did not make it. Defensive player of the year was Terrell Suggs. Look at this. Akeem Ayers was second. Then you got our boy Zach Brown down here at 6th. You got our boy Woodyard right here at 8th. And you got Thomas at 10th. Absolutely crazy. We didn't win it, but geez, we had a lot of people. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Mettenberger just got edged out by Blake Bortles, which I don't understand because he only won 2 games. I don't get it. Jeez. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Shazier. Sorry if I said that wrong. Of the Steelers. Quite interesting there. Best QB went to Joe. Wow, my bad. I was looking down one. Tom Brady. And of course, we actually weren't in it for this one. That's surprising. Probably because quarterbacks kept getting injured and such. Andre Ellington won the best running back of the year in all of the AFC. Absolutely crazy. And his backup, Sean Green's actually at number 4. So that's absolutely amazing. We also got AFC wide receiver of the year, Kendall Wright. And down at the bottom, towards the bottom, you got yourself McCluster and Hunter. So we absolutely racked up on this. Offensive lineman went to Solder of the Patriots. We do have Ruse on here, who I'm going to try to re-sign, and Levetre, of course. Defensive lineman, Derek Morgan won Defensive Lineman of the Year for the AFC. He deserves it. We re-signed him. He's been absolutely insane. And you got Carl Klug down there also on the board. Defensive back went to Brandon Browner of the Patriots. We have Michael Griffin here. And I believe, nope, yet we got Pollard and we got Jason McCourty. So absolutely crazy. We have a lot of players on this list. AFC Kicker of the Year goes to Ryan Lindell. I don't think he's missed a kick all year. And if he has, it's only been 1. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, check over that real quick. NFC, because I know some people might have their favorite teams. Let's go to Offensive Player of the Year, Drew Brees, of course. Who else? Defensive Player of the Year goes to Luke Kuechly of the Panthers. Let me actually go all the way down in case someone else is wondering if their favorite players have made it. Just real quick. Okay, Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Carlos Hyde of the 49ers. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Clinton Dix of the Packers. And yes, that is a real person in case you guys don't know. Best quarterback for the NFC went to Drew Brees. MVP Offensive Player of the Year, Best Quarterback, why not? Alfred Morris got NFC Running Back of the Year. NFC Wide Receiver of the Year went to Marquise Colston. Absolutely crazy. Saints seems like they've been racking up too. Trent Williams of the Redskins is Offensive Lineman of the Year. Defensive lineman went to Jason Hatcher of the Redskins. Man, Saints and the Redskins been doing a lot. You got the Seahawks here. For Richard Sherman being Best Defensive Back of the Year. And lastly, a Best Kicker, which goes to Robbie Gould. Okay, like I said, it's going to be a bit of a longer episode. Let's check this out real quick. Kendall Wright ended up being 3rd overall in yards. Ellington ended up being 4th in rushing yards. Morgan was number 1 in sacks. And Griffin 5th with 7 interceptions. So let's go to the league stats and check out just... Oh, my bad. Okay, wrong thing. Wrong thing. It's all good. Okay, so... let's go here and check out this season's stats and see who exactly got number 1 for each particular thing. NFL, let's start there. Highest QB rating goes to Michael Vick, though he probably doesn't deserve it considering he hasn't played many games. Most overall yards goes to Drew Brees, followed a couple hundred behind by Stafford, and then it gets closer and closer there. Most of their touchdowns looks like it's still going to be Drew Brees. Yep, 44. Cutler was the next highest, 13 lower than that though. Most interceptions goes to Mike Glennon. Ooh, sadly Mettenberger's right behind him. Dang, that kind of sucks. Okay, most times sacked. Let's see, that's Andy Dalton. Jeez, that says a lot about the offensive line. Highest completion, we're not gonna count him. Not gonna count him. Not gonna count him. Maybe Robert Griffin was 74. Kirk Cousins. I'm going to say Tom Brady, 72% is probably the legit highest. Okay, let's move on to the running game. Most attempts at running goes to Pierre Thomas, 356. Most rushing yards goes to Marshawn Lynch, and of course our boy Ellington right down here, just a couple hundred away from having the highest. Most touchdowns on the season goes to Ellington, and then a couple below him is Sean Green, so that's great. Let's see who fumbled the most out of all people. Wow, Alfred Morris, Ronnie Hillman, Ridley, and Lynch. So some of the best running backs actually, in fact, fumbled the most. Andre Ellington having the most 20-yard or more rushes out of anyone, and right behind him is our boy Sean Green. So we actually did the best with that. That's something to be proud of, that's for sure. Receiving, most receptions goes to Antonio Brown. Most receiving yards goes Torrey Smith, and a couple below him you got our boy Kendall Wright, and you got Calvin Johnson at second. That's pretty okay. Average yards per reception. Let's look for some actual players here. We're gonna go ahead and say we actually got that one because all the ones with more than 50 receptions are on our team, so that's pretty cool. Most touchdowns by a player goes to Jimmy Graham, followed by Marquise Colston. So top 2 are on the same team. That's absolutely crazy. Most yards after the catch goes to Jimmy Graham, followed by Calvin Johnson, Dexter McCluster. Nice. Okay, let's check it out. Dexter McCluster got a little quiet towards the second half of the year, to be honest. Sure, why not? Most pancake blocks goes to Duane Brown. And then Costanzo got 7. Sacks allowed. Let's see who's allowed the most sacks. 20 by Bushrod. Jeez. Would not want him on my team. Okay, defense. Most tackles goes to Daryl Washington. Close second, Zach Brown. And then, wow, literally 1 tackle difference. Wow. You got Akeem Ayers and Wesley Woodyard. Out of the top 4, 3 of them are our guys, so that's absolutely insane to think about. Most sacks goes to Derek Morgan of our team, tied with Trent Cole, and it just kind of keeps going on from there. Most interceptions by a defensive player goes to Richard Sherman, and then Brandon Brown is the next highest with 5 less. And our boy Michael Griffin's in there, you know, just a few lower. Okay, let's see. Most catches allowed, which is not a good one, by the way. Brinkley tied with Smith, so yeah. Forced fumbles goes to Akeem Ayers. That's what I'm talking about. That's crazy. Most fumble recoveries, probably someone that's created a few themselves. Yep. Akeem Jordan, Tamba Hali, and you got a few people tied for 2. That first is more like a right place, right time type thing, I would think. Anyone got a safety? Let's see. Yep. Cameron Hayward, J.J. Watt, and Terrell Suggs. Most touchdowns by a defensive player goes to Richard Sherman, who had 3. That is absolutely crazy. Kicking, like straight up kicking. Let's see how this is going to work. Let's see, who's made the most kicks? That's Robbie Baranas. And then Goskowski. Let's see, highest percentage. And it is in fact, our boy Ryan Lindell, 29 of 29. Longest was 50 yards. Let's see, the longest field goal of the year was 56 by Nick Folk of the Jets. That's crazy. Okay, so we don't need to read too much into this. Punting. I want to see who is horror. Okay, so let's see. Punted for 4,064 yards. That's insane. Let's see. Do they have one? Okay, there we go. Punts inside the 20. Let's see. Brett Kern of our team has the most inside the 20-yard line. Touchback on punts. Sam Koch has the most for that one. Longest punt of the year goes to Chris Jones with 68. That is absolutely insane. Okay, let's check out kick return for a touchdown. Let's check that out real quick. Like kick returns. Let's see who's had the most kick returns all year. Dexter McCluster, 94 for 2,668 yards. Probably the most there also. Yep. Average kick return goes to Harry Douglas. McCluster is a couple down. And let's check out touchdowns on kick returns. That definitely goes Dexter McCluster. He's had 6 on kick returns. Absolutely crazy. A long of 102. But the longest goes to 3, tied for 103. Jernigan, Brown, and Givens. And McCluster's right behind them with 102. Let's try punt return here. Most punt return attempts goes to Brandon Cooks. Most punt return yards goes to Mark Mariani, our boy. He's only had 1 touchdown, though, sadly. Most touchdowns goes to Deshaun Jackson, who's the only one that had more than 1 for punting, and he had 4. So keep that in mind if we play him in the playoffs. That's dangerous. Punt return long goes to Lamar Miller, 81 yards. That's absolutely crazy. Mariani's 3rd highest with 63, tied with Patterson. Yeah, guys, that is what the season looks like. Now let's check out who exactly is in the playoff. I think what I'm just going to do is go to the schedule and see who's playing who. And then I'll show you who's exempt from these first wildcard games. So wildcard games, you got the Chiefs versus Titans at Titans. Amen for that. Panthers at Packers. Bills at Broncos. Wow, Bills made to the playoffs. That's interesting. Seahawks at 49ers. So we'll just have to see. It's going to be quite some interesting games. I want to look, which we're about to take a look and see what the record of those Bills are, because that's not exactly something I expected to see in the playoffs. So let's see. The teams that are completely exempt from playing the first games. Patriots, Redskins, Saints, and Ravens do not play the first game. Wow. Maybe 1 more win and 1 less loss, and we could have skipped that first game. Oh well. Ravens 13-3, the only one in their division moving on. Browns were 9-7. If they wouldn't have kept losing at the end, they would have had it. We're the only one in our division going. Next highest was the Texans, who did not have a winning record. AFC East, you got the Bills, who ended up being 10-6, and the Patriots, who get to skip the first one undefeated. Thank you very much. And they're moving on to the playoffs. AFC West, Broncos 11-4-1, and the Chiefs, who we are playing, also moved on at 9-6-1. NFC North, Packers moving on. Bears and Lions and Vikings did not make it. 12-4 is the Packers. NFC South, Saints 14-2 are moving on, and the Panthers at 10-6 are moving on. So NFC East, let's look. Redskins, who also did not lose a game, just like the Patriots did not, except they're 15-1, so they have one tie. No one else in their division is moving on. NFC West, 49ers at 12-4 are moving on to the playoffs, and the Seahawks, very close behind, at 11-5 are moving on. So, it's going to be quite interesting, guys. I can't say it's going to be an easy run to try to make it into very deep into the playoffs. So let's see. Let's get some game prep going. Let's keep working on our defense like we've been doing. It seems like it's been working pretty well. Let's check out these cornerbacks in this game. So, Terrell Thomas, I made the Pro Bowl. Nice win home. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Jason McCourty, I don't think he needs it. I should have had an interception. Okay, so I'm gonna work on both of them. I don't think Ren Wilson needs it right now. I'm gonna work on these two for now, and we'll keep going from there after. So let's see what we can do. They got some pretty good experience there. Let's see what else we can do. Full safety. I think I'm going to work on the linebackers. Get the middle linebackers some good experience up in here. Brown and Woodyard. I think I allowed too many touchdowns. I had 10 tackles. Okay, so I'm going to work on both these guys. So let's see. How much time do we have left? We have 24 hours for this week as we are about to head in. So there's not many for experience. It looks like they're mostly looking at defense to get the experience in. Let's see what the recommended activities are. 10 hours, confidence, safety. We'll probably work on confidence more next season. Full safety, Michael Grifford. And then let's work on both of them. Let's see how much time do we have left. It'll probably be about 8 hours. Could be wrong. Yep, 8 hours. So let's see. Let's watch film for the defense and we'll do. Inefficient. Well, how much time? I don't know, that's confusing me. I thought. Oh, it's 10 hours. That's what messed me up. Yeah, okay, that's what messed me up. It's 10 hours. So let's. Strong safety. Who we need to work on here? I'll just work on Pollard, and that'll be it. And we will be ready to go for the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I'll see you when that time does come around. We are going against the Kansas City Chiefs. We have home field advantage. It's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully, this first year will be a strong start. So, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below if you have anything to say about this video or this series or my channel in general. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my content. This has been DemonRushGaming, and I am out of here.